Hello, and welcome to today's Fertility Q&A Wednesday. So, handing the mic over to you. Welcome, and thank you for entering the room, the Zoom room. How long have you been on your fertility journey for?
Possibly maybe about a year or so.
Okay.
And I already have 2 children.
Okay.
But it's just not happening again. We don't know why, and so we're trying to figure it out.
You know that your immune system changes after your pregnancy?
I learned that the hard way, yes.
Yeah. So there's always that could be a factor.
Mm-hmm.
There's many factors. I mean, a lot of women have secondary sub-fertility where they've got 1 or 2, 3 children. One lady came to me, she wanted to have her 5th child.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Desperate for her 5th. So it's a confusing time because you're fertile, that you guys can have children, and then it's like, why is this happening? Why is there a block?
Yeah.
And it's important to have a look at, the physical reasons. So we always want to rule them out, but the physical reasons only manifest based on what's happening with the outer layers of the energy field, which is your emotional layer, your mental layer, your feelings and thoughts, as well as your spiritual layer. And the spiritual aspects that come into play, it's about your alignment with your baby's spirit. And so that could also be one of the reasons why there's a delay, because it's baby saying, Mum, you just need to, clear some of the ancestral stuff or clear some of the baggage so I don't have to take it on as this next generation comes through.
Yeah.
What happens is, though, your first child has taken on all the crap that you haven't dealt with and that your man hasn't dealt with, and for the last 4 generations above you both. But when you deal with it, and I say you because you're the mum, that you have the covenant, you are the one that births your children, and you have an unbreakable bond. Whereas the men, sometimes they have a covenant, but they usually just have a contract. And so it does come down to the mum doing a lot of the spiritual stuff. And when I say spiritual stuff, it's clearing the stuff that's in the DNA that's going to be passed on down to the next generations. So, it's about that alignment and helping you to now go, right, this is what I need to do to become a better version of me so that my children do not have to process this. And for the 3rd child that you're wanting to come through, there's still some learnings there for you. There's still some things that you can, like layers of an onion. There's still some layers that you can remove so that you can be that beautiful being that you are. We harden ourselves, we create these layers to try and integrate into society. But this next generation of children are saying, we're not of the old paradigm. We're not going to think the same as you guys. We don't have to prove our worth by working really hard. We don't, we're not on that realm anymore. We've made that shift. So it's about you taking that shift now. So maybe that's what's happening when I say spiritual, but then there's also the mental, the emotional, and then the physical. So there's lots of things we can delve into. What are you sensing? What do you feel it could be, or what you'd need assistance with?
I really don't know, because we've gone, my OBG says, oh, maybe your tubes are blocked. And I heard it's a very painful exam. So I kind of chickened out and I didn't want to do it. And
why would your tubes be blocked? Have you had fibroids or scar tissue or cysts or anything? What's happened?
He was just saying, oh, maybe you need to get it checked. So I did have one very tiny fibroid it was like 3 centimeters or something. It's very small. And that was when I was 38, and now I'm 43. And they found another very tiny one this year. So I ordered the MSM from you in April, I believe. And I've been taking it with vitamin C. I have not been very consistent, I will admit to that. And I don't take it around when I'm ovulating. I think I read that you said don't take it around the time of your period or when you're ovulating. I hope I didn't misread that.
Oh, you can take that around your period when you're ovulating. It's the castor oil.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm glad we clarified that. So you can take
Okay.
MSM every day. It's organic sulfur, which is just not in our food supply anymore. It's not in our basic nutrition, so we have to supplement with it. What are you on now? Like, what's your dosage for the MSM? Still a quarter?
Quarter. Yeah. We did, I think you and I had a consult some time back, and I think you had me put like my hand on my heart and say, what's the right dosage for me? And it was a quarter. And so I did the quarter with the vitamin C, of course. And so I've been doing that, just not very consistent. But my understanding, everything I read, is fibroids are a result of emotional hurts or some sort of emotional hurt that has not been resolved.
Exactly.
So, and I don't know what that is. I've been like searching like what hurt was not resolved. I don't know. You know, but my sister has 2 fibroids that were huge, and she was trying to conceive, and they've grown, and she just had a baby boy 2 months ago, and hers were like the size of like ping pong ball. And so it was like, so maybe it can happen even though I do have them and I'm trying to get rid of them. So I don't know.
Yeah, you can have them. It's like seeing fibroids as an obstacle course. Like it just creates a bit more of an obstacle for the sperm. And it depends on where yours are positioned and how vigorous your partner's sperm is. You guys are trying naturally then, I presume?
Of course. Yes. Yes.
So the more vigorous, you want the sperm to be vigorous. You want it to be really energized. So the sperm will be an immediate extension of your husband. So if he's feeling a bit flat, feeling like it's a bit of a chore, that's not going to give your sperm the best chance. So you are best to be making love when you guys are really in the mood and really feeling turned on, and that will create for you a stronger sucking sensation in your body as your body releases the hormones that you need to release.
Yeah.
To draw that sperm closer to you. So try not to make it like a chore, and everyone seems to have that phrase, choredom, like boredom.
Yeah, no, us not at all.
Good.
Not at all. Yeah, no, we love making love. So it's
okay.
We don't have that problem. It's just that, I don't know, we've been trying for so long, and he said the other day, look, we've been trying and it hasn't been happening. I don't want to go get because my OBG said, well, maybe he has a low sperm count. So my husband's like, well, I don't want to go find out if anything's wrong. So if it's not happening, maybe we'll just be happy with 2 children and that's it, and move on, you know.
And how do you feel about that?
I don't know. I feel like I want it now more because there's trouble in having it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, the lack of something sometimes makes you want it more. It's kind of like, well, no, I can will this into being, right?
Of course you can. Oh, you can. We always do. And it just depends on where the energy is firing. So it's interesting when you say, you know, maybe we'll just be happy with 2. And I hear that with other clients who go, maybe we should just be happy with 1, or maybe it's just not going to happen and we should be okay with that. But it's like, if that's not true for you, if that doesn't feel right for you, then that's not your truth. So that's not the path to take. And the thing is, male sperm is so easy to improve. You know, getting him on some supplements, which would just give him more energy anyway, and help him to feel great, is probably better than him going through a sperm test, which, you know, if they tell you worst case scenario, you're still going to be put on supplements to improve that. And one of the biggest things that impact male fertility is radiation. So avoiding radiation as much as possible. So no microwave meals, no phones in the pocket, no laptops on the lap, that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, the phone's on the lap and iPad, those 2 are easy. Microwave, not so easy.
Really?
So, well, yeah, well, not every day, but we're microwaving.
Because that denatures the food. It's irradiating your food. And then radiation causes cell abnormalities, chromosomal issues. Like it's just not going to be creating healthy sperm and eggs.
Yeah. And his response to that is, well, we had 2 kids and we were microwaving. What's different now? And I said, well, we're older now.
It's accumulative. Yeah. I mean, 1 X-ray, for example, in the body isn't going to be that damaging. Try 10,000 X-rays and we know that it causes cancer. So it's like, if you're struggling to have this other baby, it's a sign that you're just needing to become more in balance.
Yeah.
And maybe your bodies have just had enough of the microwaving because it's not natural. And when you're pregnant, you shouldn't even be in the same room as a microwave.
Wow.
Yeah.
You sound like my mother-in-law. She did not believe in microwaves for like 10 years. And then she had children, 4 boys. And they were all like, Mom, we're over it. They're older now, like, you know, so they're like 19, 20. And they're like, we're not waiting an hour just to heat up food in the oven. Like, we're not. And so she was outnumbered in the house. And so they got a microwave.
Oh my
But
goodness.
she doesn't want to have kids anymore. I mean, she has 4 boys and they're all grown. So, you know, it's for her, it's like, yeah, okay, fine. Yeah. So I don't know.
I know it's the cost of convenience, but everything that we do, like with shortcuts, there's always a payoff. And that could be with anything. You know, we get that with medication, whatever it may be, there's always a payoff. And it's sometimes just better to, you know, go back to more old-fashioned means when we just didn't have the same kind of fertility issues that we do now.
Right. I remember a time it wasn't this hard.
Oh, exactly. Again, the air wasn't as polluted with radiation. Neither was your water with fluoridation or the chlorine. And there's still, from the air, there's radiation in our water. So there's a lot going on that's just building and building and building in the body. And, you know, going as clean as you can is so important. So even looking at your shampoos, body washes, moisturizers, makeup, everything, it just keeps adding up.
Yeah. I feel like we need to just, I don't know. I mean, I do a lot of plant-based everything now. Like everything is switching over to that in our lives.
Fantastic.
As natural as possible. But, you know, I'm hopeful, but in the back of my mind, I'm going, maybe my husband's right. I don't know. Maybe we should be happy with 2 because it's been a while.
Well, you can be happy with 2 and still make decisions on just being a better version of you, and you guys just optimizing your energy and making love the way you are, and you'll be having this child before you know it, because you're not strangling the energy where you're desperate to have a child. You're just like, it'd be great to have a child, which is the perfect attitude to have. So this child's not going to define our happiness. It's not going to complete me. It would be brilliant to have this child. Now that's the kind of energy that brings a child in, because there's no responsibility for that child. So you've got that foundation, but it is also following your intuition and just try to be the best version of you as you can. And then just through osmosis, it's going to help your children and even your husband to be the best version of themselves. And that could be, you know, I love myself enough to not put toxic chemicals on my body or whatever, you know, just all the little things that add up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, and age, how does that affect it? Because we're 43 in a month.
Okay, I help women in their 50s have children. So
that's why you laughed. Okay. You're like, age is just a number.
Yeah, exactly. You got another 10 years, honey. I mean, whether you want to be having kids in 10 years' time is up to you. But no, it's not. You shouldn't think that you need to be rushing and that you're getting old, because it's those beliefs that are going to shape that for you. So if you believe I'm getting old, I'm going to have complications, well, the body's programmed to follow what the brain says.
Yeah, I don't believe I'm going to have complications. It's just, you know, I think the timing is good. A little bit more settled in the career. You know, I just think the timing is good now. But maybe it's not on my timing, right? Maybe it's just on the baby's timing and not on my timing.
Always baby's timing. Yeah. And I love that. You know, you say I'm more settled. You know, you're not strangling the energy to be desperate to have this baby. And I think also when you start looking into the facts that a lot of women have healthier eggs in their early 40s than they do in their 20s and 30s.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. Well, look at your lifestyle in your 20s, especially. You eat junk food, you're drinking so much and partying hard. And, you know, yes, your cellular regeneration is faster when you're younger. Your metabolism is faster, so you regenerate faster.
Yeah.
You regenerate slower when you're older. So that's why you can't afford those packet of biscuits and pizzas and wine and coffee and all that kind of stuff, because all of these things negate fertility. But if you have them collectively for a long period of time, it makes it even harder for your body to try to detoxify and you know, get back into being healthy and vibrant again. So that's key to remember. But also statistically in the UK, there's a lot of abortions for women in their early 40s, around 43, because they never thought that they would be pregnant and they never wanted the pregnancy. But people assume that, once you hit 40, your fertility goes downhill. And that is not the case, or there wouldn't be such a high level of abortions for that age group.
That's an interesting statement, I guess that's part of why I'm confused. There are women who don't want children, but get pregnant. And that makes no sense to me. I just have a hard time with that, because why would a baby then come if the baby's not wanted?
Well, there's a lot that goes on the spiritual realm when it comes to babies and coming down. Like, that baby is coming down because they have a covenant with the mum, and the mum would have agreed that that's okay. And even the dad, because the babies choose the parents. That's why some women have different fathers, because it's the baby's free will. So the baby gets to choose, and that's what, the mother follows on that level, that unconscious spiritual level. And there's a lot of books written about this. I know there's one particular book, not specifically about fertility, but Carolyn Myss, the American author and speaker and medical intuitive, MYSS, she's written a book called Soul Contracts. And so soul contracts are very real. And so there would have been a soul contract, and maybe on the conscious level, the mother was thinking she didn't want to have the baby, but subconsciously it was part of her life's plan.
Yeah.
And that's why it happened, even though on a conscious level she was like, I never wanted this, or whatever it may be. And stuff plays out. Like, sometimes we know of parents that resent their children. It's part of what that child had signed up for certain learnings to be a certain way. Because some children that are given a horrendous start with their parenting through their parents end up being such inspirational people.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
And all that's for a reason too. So we don't know what their path is. All you can focus on is you, because each baby is so individual, and you've got your own relationship with this third child that wants to come through, which is why I believe you're craving having a third child.
Yeah.
And it's purely to do with alignment. When you guys are back in balance and in alignment, baby will come.
Oh, thank you. It's just so good to talk to somebody who is like inspirational, and it's not like, oh, maybe it's not the right time. Maybe, so this really helps.
Yeah, you've got to follow your heart and follow your intuition, and don't give your power away to other people. That's why I asked when you had discussed with your husband. He's like, oh, we'll just, we can be happy with 2. That's not a problem. And it's like, well, is that a problem for you? Because if it's a problem for you, then you don't have to accept that as reality. It's not like your husband has a problem with having another child. He just doesn't want to be trying so hard and getting tests done.
Yeah, that's really what it is. I mean, he would be happy with he wanted a whole football team.
There you go.
Before we were pregnant. But we had children who don't sleep at night. So he changed his mind about the whole football team directly after our first child was born, who never slept. I mean, she was just up every 30 minutes crying. He's like, okay, maybe we just have a few and not have an entire football team.
Because you need some sleep. Do you turn the Wi-Fi off at nighttime?
No. Oh gosh, I tried that with him. He's in IT. And so I tried that. You did advise that before. And I was like, honey, we should just turn off the Wi-Fi. It's something. But again, with we should try this, or we should do that. It's like, well, maybe we just don't need to have another child if we have to alter our lives this much.
But it could also help your current children to sleep better.
Yeah. Because I remember us having this conversation, and I would plug it out at night. And then he would wake up and get very frustrated. And I was like, all right, I've lost that battle. Go ahead. We'll figure it out.
I think all of our husbands are like that. They like to wake up and look at their iPads immediately. And you're like,
like, why is it not working? Who's plugging this thing out? So it was like a source of frustration. And of course, if you're trying to make love and now you're frustrated, like, it's just, I was like, okay, I moved away from plugging out the Wi-Fi. And so, yeah.
Maybe introduce it, but through the realm of the children, because if they're sleeping in a pitch black room, that helps. I know sometimes I let the light on in the beginning, but then you can just turn it off and have it, that perfect sleep hygiene. No green lights, red lights, nothing that's on standby.
Oh, yeah. My son loves to sleep in the room pitch black. He wants no light in his room at all. Yeah, my daughter, on the other hand, she likes a little dim light. She's like, because she wears glasses, so she's like, if I wake up, I need to be able to. I feel like she gets frightened to wake up and it's pitch black, and she doesn't have her glasses on. So for her, it's like, let's just have a little bit of light, and I'll be fine. So.
And she's the one that doesn't sleep.
Oh no, they both sleep fine.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay,
They both sleep fine. Yeah, they're good sleepers.
Okay.
But yeah, so I don't know. I will, just keep thinking positive thoughts, and I've even named her. I picked out a name.
Oh, have you? Love it.
Yeah. I don't know. I spent some time one day. I was like, let me just think of what would I name her or him. So we've done that, and I put my hand on my stomach and kind of visualize her being in there, different things. And yeah, just waiting.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? The fact that you've already named the children, and I just feel that you're blocking the energy when you then say, oh, maybe we should just be happy with the two that we have. It's just not congruent.
I don't feel that way at all.
Yeah, good. Okay, so you're owning that, and I think that's also why you're subscribing to the newsletters. You're wanting to take more action, and it can be an easy path. There are so many easy options. And Melissa, do you have any more questions then?
No, I think this was great, and you helped put a few things in perspective for me. So thank you so much for that.
My pleasure. My pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.